have my fun St. Patrick's Day.
Oh
Dinner.
my gosh. So cute. It looks so good.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
sent you guys one of these ones too, so
Oh my God. That's gonna go so crazy. People are gonna be obsessed with it.
yeah.
Well, in the spirit of your t-shirt, I did want to introduce this is Guinness, our newest kitten. He's
Ah,
very cute and very wiggly. He
I
looks just like a
love
Guinness.
it. Yeah, cute.
My fiance wanted to name him 5 Guinnesses on a Friday, and I was like, that is appropriate for St. Patrick's Day. So
Big full name, 5 Guinness.
literally.
He goes by
So
Guinness.
fun. He goes by Guinness. His legal name is Five
Yeah,
Guinness Friday,
exactly.
though. We're gonna micro bend in those knees. Gentle bend. Actually, let's drop those weights. When you're ready, gentle bend in those knees. I want you to press on and find your hips. So you're gonna feel like two little points here. And that's where I want your feet. So it's actually like a little bit closer together than you might be used to. So touch those hip points. And we're making a straight line like I have a thread attached to my hips all the way down to my heels. Micro bend in those knees, bend into them, reach up towards the ceiling and lower. Alex always laughs at this part, but this is where I get very woo-woo. I like to pretend I'm making a circle here. I'm on the inside. My arms are making like a barrier, kind of like a Glinda bubble. And I picture anything that bothers me on the outside of that circle, any stress, any negative self-talk, and on the inside are all the things that I want to hold on to. Set your intention for class. Gentle bend in those knees. Give yourself permission to take up space. When you're ready, you're going to meet me with those hands raised. Lift those heels. If you want a little bit of a balance challenge here, you can close one eye, maybe close the other. Exhale any discomfort with this. Inhale. Exhale, start to lower those heels. Lower those arms. We can shake those arms out. When you're ready, grab onto those weights. It's going to be short and I won't lie to you, maybe a little bit terrible, but our arms are going to look so good after this, so it'll be perfect. You ready? When you're ready, I want you to bring those palms. I can't tell, are you holding on to weights?
No, I have just my bands on.
Okay, perfect. Then I want you to have open palms here.
Okay.
Open those palms. They're facing the back of the room, and we're just going to bend in and down. So we're bending in and down here. And these are really light weights for your biceps. So I want you to focus on getting that flexion just from the biceps as we squeeze in. You're squeezing so hard just into those biceps that you might be starting to shake here. Micro bend in those knees. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, let's serve that platter, and draw elbows in. We serve the platter, and draw those elbows in, extend, and draw it in like we're serving 2 Guinnesses, and then drawing in here. You're here for 4. In 3, you're gonna meet me extended. In 2, in 1, hold extended here. We're here for 8, not even lying to you. We're here for 7. We're here for 6. You're here for 5. In 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Can you open wide? And then draw in. I want you to sync these movements with your breath. So we exhale and we inhale. Exhale and you inhale. I want you to use that exhale with whatever is the hardest part of the movement for you. For me, the hardest part is drawing those arms in because I'm crunching into my core, tucking my pelvis just a tiny bit, engaging my lower abs, and engaging those biceps. Those shoulders are on fire. You're here for 4. Use that breath. You're here for 3.
Yeah, they're on fire, Claire.
Yep, you're here for 2. Taking breaks as you need. In 1, can you meet me with those arms extended? We're holding for 8. If you want to live a little bit lower, you can. We're here for 7. You're here for 6. In 5, we're going to bend in. In 4. In 3. In 2. In 1, we bend and extend. So we're bending to 90, finding a goalpost and extending. We're here for 4. We're here for 3. In 2. In 1, can you bend into 90, draw those elbows into kiss, and then open to a goalpost. Elbows into kiss, a really gentle kiss, like an awkward first kiss here, and then we very quickly open back up. You're here for 4. Nice and cautious coming in, opening up. We're here for 3. I really want you to engage that core as you open. Make sure you're not flaring in those ribs. You're here for 2. In 1, can you meet me with those elbows together? Open just to 90 and close. So we're drawing those elbows in line with our shoulders, micro bend in those knees. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, can you hold the 90-degree shape, draw those elbows, tuck them in by your ribs, and then serve that platter right back up to 90 degrees. We lower and we serve. So it's like we're rotating that shape on an axis, maintaining 90 the whole time here. We're here for 4. You're here for 3. We're going to record some videos over the summer. We're here for 2. In 1, can you extend and bend? But every time I think about serving the platter, I'm like, we have to do some like civil procedure or like criminal procedure and be like, serve the papers, like something like that would be so funny. You're here for 4.
Some bar study while you do it as well.
Seriously, you're here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, can you hold those palms are facing towards the ceiling? It's terrible. Draw those shoulders down your back. Untuck that chin. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, can you lower? Ooh, and lift. I dropped my weights and I'm still dying right now, so I don't know how you're doing this. You're here for 4. For those of you that are watching, you can do this without weights. You literally do not need them. You are going to feel it. You can also use anything. You can use a heavy water bottle. You can use some cans of soup. Maybe use those textbooks. But right now we're resetting in those biceps, giving those shoulders a break. We're here for 3. In 2, we're going to flip those palms to face each other. In 1, flip those palms, serve, and draw those elbows in. We serve and draw those elbows in. I want you to check in with your body and see how such a micro shift can make such a big difference in what you're feeling, what muscles are lighting up. For me, I really feel this more in my obliques when I have my palms facing each other. I really have to engage them to maintain that balance, to keep my core engaged. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, can you hold here? Hold for 4. You're so strong. You've got it, Mackenzie. You're here for 3. In 2, we're going to lift up to a diagonal. In 1, you lift up to a diagonal and lower. You lift up to that diagonal and lower. Draw those shoulders down your back. Can you gently tuck into that pelvis? Make sure you're bending in those knees. We're here for 4. We're here for 3. In 2, you're going to meet me with those arms straight. In 1, come to arms neutral. Open those arms and hug them in here. So pretend you're hugging a big bear here. So making a big circle and then opening out wide. Micro bend in those elbows even as we open out wide. Think about this as a chest fly. We're really engaging the triceps here, the pectorals. You're here for 4. Make sure we're not craning in the neck. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, can you keep that left arm in front of you and just open that right arm and draw in. We're here for 8. Count yourself out here. You're here for 7. This is so much harder when you don't have a mirror to look into. Our brain is working overtime to figure out where our body is in space, where we're moving. This is a really good workout for our nervous system to really know some mindfulness about where we stand in the world. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, can that right arm stay extended? That left arm opens out and in, out and in. This can be a lot harder on that right arm because it was already moving for you. If you need to live with it on your hip, so you're not sacrificing the quality of your reps, take breaks as you need. Maybe come back to it. We're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. And 1. We're coming to one more hammer curl, bending in and lowering, bending in and lowering. Don't worry, Mackenzie, we have 4 more here. And 3, you're going to meet me extended for the last time. And 2, this is how we finish with those shoulders. And 1, meet me with those arms extended. We hold here for 4. Really bend into those knees. We're here for 3. You've got it for 2. And 1, start to fold those arms in by the side of your ribs. Bring the gaze 2 to 3 feet in front of you. We're going to extend those arms back behind us and bend to 90. Extend the arms back behind us and bend to 90. We're here for 4. So we have a nice neutral neck here. The gaze is coming 2 to 3 feet in front of us. Our elbows are tucked in by our side. We're here for 3. Knit those ribs together. Moving on those exhales, we're here for 2. Moving nice and slow. In 1, can you meet me with those arms extended? Can you lift 1 inch? Can you lift 1 more inch here? You're holding for 4. In 3, we're going to pulse it out. In 2, in 1, we lift an inch, we lower an inch. We lift, we lower. You're here for 4. We're pulsing. You've got it. You were here for 3. You're here for 2. In 1, can you hold here? We're here for 8. This is how you finish. Can you lift those arms 1 inch higher here? Draw those shoulders down your back. We're here for 7. You're here for 6. You're here for 5. That meow is crazy. You're here for 4. Hi. You're here for 3. Oh my gosh, he's climbing up my legs. You're here for 2. This is crazy. You're here for 1. Go ahead and release. I don't know if you see, but he's literally
Jeez, Claire.
on my back. Okay. Go.
Toasted arms.
Okay, I'm just gonna be here. All right, we can come down to a tabletop here. Start to just shift forward to roll out those wrists and backwards. I can't believe he's still on my back. He's a crazy person.
Crazy.
Alex was like, I'm gonna be scared of that one.
So yeah, watch the video, you will be.
He's like sucking on my ear. She'd be like, get off. When you're ready, you can stick with this, or you can bring those fingertips to face each other. And we're just gonna rock side to side here. Rocking side to side. If you want a little bit more, you can shift and flip those palms so they're on the ground, and then gently send those hips back towards your heels. Let that feel good. Really don't need much movement to feel that here. Stick with that for as long as you want. Then I always need to just send my hips all the way back and just rock out my wrists. And then because we get literally so serious after doing arms, it's always good to just shake it out. Be playful after. We can draw that right arm across our chest. Bring that gaze over your right shoulder. Rock out those wrists. Stick with this. When you're ready, place that left arm down, bend into it as we reach that right arm open and over, stretching out that right side body. Check in with yourself. See how you feel a little bit different now than at the end of class. For me on a Wednesday, I feel like I'm so tight in my lower back, all along my hip flexors. I need to release so badly. When you're ready, go ahead and release. Shake it out. Draw that left arm over, gaze coming over left shoulder. Damn, my shoulders, I'm feeling it right now.
I can feel it. Like, I don't need to work out today now. I'm good.
I literally was like, when is she going to break? Like, when is she going to put her arms down? And you were like, nope, I'm pushing through.
Girls, you gotta push them.
When you're ready, you can place that right arm down, bend into it, and then stretch on over. Checking in with this left side body, see how it feels different. One side always feels a little warmer than the other. One side always needs a little more love. You are so crazy. I'm grabbing water. You should too. And then we can chat.
Yay! That was awesome. I'm serious. My arms are like toast.
My favorite, and like whenever I do this in class, people are like, no, but I love putting the ball in between when you're doing it. It's literally evil. It's diabolical, but
I've never done that or thought of that.
it's crazy. I don't know where I came up with that one, but I'm always telling people, I'm like, wedding is in May. you're on this journey with me. We're all getting bridal arms.
Yeah, seriously.
Like crazy. Well, that is a good segue because I'm here with Mackenzie, and sorry, Mackenzie, I'm flipping into my podcastery voice. But Mackenzie is the wonderful G Designs, and she makes these incredible tank tops, sweatshirts. I'm repping one. I don't know if you can see Bar Buddy. Mackenzie's repping her St. Patrick's Day t-shirts, and she is actually designing all the t-shirts for my wedding. I mean, not for every single guest, but they're going to be in our little swag bags for my girlfriends. And you were so much fun to work with. I sent you my Pinterest board and I was like, please do whatever. And you were just so easy. I feel like I'm sending everyone I know to go to you at this point.
Send them my way. Send them my way. I'm doing everything I can to not become an actual lawyer. So,
So funny. I did want to talk to you about that. I think that a lot of lawyers are so good at law school, and a lot of us, at least for me, because I have that creative side too. Why I was good at law school is that I can get obsessed with a project and like hyperfixate, and that's what can carry me through. But there's
mhm.
that creative side to me that kind of died in law school. I didn't get to nurture it in the same way. I think I expected law school and lawyering to be a little bit more creative, if you will.
Mhm.
Um, and I was kind of wondering how this came about for you, and also how creative pursuits or anything to like, build your life outside of being a law student or a lawyer makes your life better and maybe even makes you better as a lawyer or as a student.
Yeah. Also a good segue into Bar Buddy. Like literally, I took the bar and studied all summer. I wasn't doing anything creative when you're studying for the bar. You're just like head
Yeah.
down, like go, go, go.
Hmm.
And I got done and you just like have this moment of like, okay, what do I do now? Where you just kind of wait for your results. You're not really like
Hmm.
starting work. And so I always told myself I was going to learn to knit. I never did. And I somehow came across someone on Instagram or maybe Pinterest that was embroidering. And I was like, oh, I'll give that a try. And I bought just like a little Amazon embroidery kit and just started making shirts for myself. And then my friends and my boyfriend and stuff too, they're like, those are so cool. You should make them and see if anyone wants them. And then MacG got started.
Yeah, that's so incredible. I
Yeah.
feel like that is always how it starts. It's something that you love, you almost fall into it. And then, we are lawyers, and Alex and I talk about this a lot, but there are things you learn in law school about being persistent to get through the LSAT, to get through law school, to get through the bar exam, where any hobby turns into, we don't know how to turn it off. We're like, we're going to execute this the best way possible all the way through. If you do use Mackenzie, she will send you the most official PDF, the mood board. It's incredible. I was like, oh my gosh, please remember me when you're famous. You're just so professional. And I feel like it's part of who you are at this point. It's probably what led you to law school. But are there things like that where you notice being a student, a lawyer, kind of helps you when you lean into any pursuit where you're like, wow, I really am good at this. It's coming naturally to me.
I think kind of just going off what you just said, being so organized, documenting everything, being like, here's this and sending it there and making sure every box is checked and I is dotted. I find like that in MacG, even though I'm like a small business, like a spreadsheet with all my like orders and things like that. And moving forward, I think it's just being organized, keeping the receipts for everything because who knows when I'm gonna need it. Even in my like everyday life, like my friends or like my boyfriend who like make fun of me. He's like, why are you like so organized and keeping all these things? And like so I feel like that's something that I got from law school and being a lawyer.
Mhm.
I've like transitioned into that part of my life.
Mm. So, kind of on the flip side, how did you transition kind of that creative side that you had? How did that help you during law school or any other kind of outside of law school pursuits that you had, even if it was just making sure you were reading the latest Sarah J. Maas book or anything like that? Anything that kind of fueled you, I feel like
Yeah.
is really important. I always am telling people, please have a life outside of just being a lawyer. It makes the difference.
I agree because then law school ends and you get in your career and you do have time off and then you're like, what do I do with this time? I don't have
Mhm.
hobbies. I don't have I think I went into law school thinking about it being a job. It was
Mm.
very much like I'm here 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever it is. And then after that, like my work's done. I go home, I hang out with my friends. I don't say no to a night out. Like I make sure I go to my workout class. I do what I still like to do and I didn't make it my whole personality, my whole being. I worked hard and I sat at school from 9 to 5, but I was doing that just so I could have that outside life. I love like being active. I love walking, especially when I was living in DC going to law school. You could walk everywhere. It was so nice. I love seeing my friends. I love reading when I can. So just like making sure I kept those things up during law school.
Yeah, it's a full-time job doing that on the outside. Like you're like, yeah, with all the spare time I have, I'm gonna make sure to take time for myself.
Yeah,
As if,
right.
like, seriously, I forgot to shower this week and you want me to go like read a book? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
hard.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So kind of like thinking about that creative side, I did want to talk to you about what you're doing right now and like, what I perceive to be as someone who's like really creative. You see what you want and you take it. And when Alex talked to me about what you were doing, we were so impressed about how you stepped into this role after the bar exam. And you basically just said, this is a job that you need for me. I'm going to do this for you. You took up space and you created that role for yourself. And I think that that is something that's really important for people to hear about. And it's really hard for lawyers to do because we go down this path. You graduate, you take the LSAT, you go to law school and you're supposed to take these 5 classes, then you have freedom to take maybe 1 or 2, but they're telling you what your requirements are the whole time. A lot of
Mhm.
people are like, this is a summer that you have to intern here, and then you work there, and it's a very path, 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 path. We're on the hamster wheel. And
Yeah.
people, I think, lose that creative side of taking what you want or finding the roles that you want that aren't just not that anything is handed to us, but aren't explicitly told this is what we should be doing. So if you could share about your job journey, and sorry, I have to hold him because he's trying to chew on my computer board. While
Yeah.
you get serious about work, I'm holding
Yeah.
this schedule. So
Yeah, so it was kind of a, once again, this might sound a little bit boo-boo too, but I totally believe everything's going to work out how it's supposed to. I didn't have a job lined up spring of 3. I didn't have a job lined up during the bar, and I made the conscious decision to be like, okay, I'm not going to look for jobs while I study for the bar because that's just another distraction on top of everything. And I was like, okay, I know I'm going to Chicago. I'm just going to get to Chicago and kind of hit the ground running, and was able to find this part-time internship at this company who was looking for AI contracting solutions. And to be honest, I didn't want to take it. I don't think this is for me. I don't know. And then I was like, what's the worst that can happen? I do this for 6 months. I help them out and then I just go find another job. And so what ended up happening was I worked with them for 6 months. They liked what I was doing. They needed someone to do contract work for them. There wasn't really a gap or a position that they needed filled. So that kind of comes into like the job being created. They saw what I was doing for them and did a good job and saw the need. And so collaborated and were able to find kind of this middle ground right now. And so now I'm reviewing contracts, but still doing the AI stuff for them. So it's really a matter of knowing everything's going to work out how it's supposed to, even though that's really hard because I was sitting here for a couple months like, oh my God, I don't have a job and all my friends are getting paid millions of dollars at big law firms or whatever. Just trusting that you are smart, especially as a woman and a lawyer as well. You are smart, you're competent, you pass the bar, you're meant to be in these spaces. What's for you won't pass you. And just go out there and see what you want and kind of make it happen in a way, if that makes sense.
no, it makes perfect sense. And I feel like when I hear you speak, it just with, I don't know if you feel it, but such a degree of confidence that you need to have and believe in yourself. The first thing is that it's really hard to take a step on something where you don't feel like it's perfect. That can almost create decision paralysis, where it's just really hard to be decisive and just be like, you know what? It's better than nothing. I'm going to go do this. And maybe not exactly what I think would be perfect, even though who knows what that even means,
Yeah.
and just taking the step. And I think that takes a lot of confidence to just go and do something about it. To quote
Yeah.
Kim K, people just
Yeah.
don't want to work anymore. And then the second thing too that I hear you saying is that like you had the confidence to advocate for yourself, where it's just like, listen, like the Spider-Man meme where I think you could use me, like you think you could use me. Sometimes you have to just finesse it and make it happen. And maybe they needed a little bit of a nudge and they completely agreed. It's not like you had to really sell yourself, but you did have to speak up for yourself, which is a hard thing to do. And it does take a level of what you were saying, believing in yourself, and honestly, audacity to be like, no, make this for me specifically too. And I loved what you're saying about women because I think that we tend to doubt ourselves before we even take the chance or give them the chance to tell us no or to decide for themselves. So I think that Not me trying to be so serious while he's chewing on my fingers. But I just love that story. I think it's the coolest thing. And I think it really reflects what you do with your embroidery business. It's just like, now I'm getting so woo-woo, but you're
Yeah.
like tying everything together in your own way and like beating to
Yeah.
your own drum. And I'm sure you would say this, like, aren't you so happy you took that chance versus maybe other jobs that wouldn't have been the fit? You wouldn't have time to work on your small business or your creative pursuits or any of that kind of thing. So it seems like everything really does. We'd like to say happens for a reason, but
Yeah.
you were the reason. So
And always thought too, I was like, right, I'm just graduating law school. Like my career is gonna be so long. You just take a chance and try something. If you don't like it, change it, you know?
yeah.
There's so much out there.
I love that. Well, kind of on that note, because we're right at the end of our short and sweet little session, but I did want to know if you had any wisdom for people who are going to be taking the bar exam and kind of on that note of like maybe being flexible, not needing to be on perfect about something, or honestly, like doesn't even have to be that serious. Maybe having an Uncrustable every day as your 3 p.m. snack was like what got you through. But we
Yep.
do love to like share any wisdom or from people who have demonstrated they're normal and just like us that like it's not impossible. We genuinely all can do it.
But I feel like you like start studying for the bar and you're like, I'm gonna be so serious. I'm gonna be studying 9 hours a day, and then like
Hmm.
burnout happens or like life happens. I had some family stuff happening during it, which you have to be flexible. If you're not sitting at your desk for 6 hours, do as much as you can. And when you're doing it, focus. I also like deleted my Instagram during the summer, which I found was really helpful. So I
Yeah.
recommend like, staying off social media, just head down. If your plans for the day get riled up because life happens, you get sick, whatever, just accept it, move on, and keep going. You don't have to be perfect. You'll be fine.
No, I think that's really good advice. And I did the same thing. I think we all do it. It's kind of like when you start a new semester, you get
Yeah.
like your new pens and like pencil case and all that. And you're like, I am going to be like studying, doing all of this. Like, I'm going to read every single page in the case or whatever. And then that's just totally impossible. You set yourself up to fail. It's unsustainable. We have to be human with it. So I think that's really good
Exactly.
advice. And so I
Yeah.
love
And also, I would say just like lean on your people because they want to help you too. And also set them up to them. I'm going to be studying. I'm not going to have a lot of
it.
time, but I'm still going to say yes to dinner with my friends, maybe once every 3 weeks or whatever. So,
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that is a good little plug for Bar Buddy. Lean on your village, your community is so important. And so many people think they have to isolate or they get persnickety to their loved ones. I loved what you were saying about you set them up where it's like, hey, I'm busy, I'm in a bad mood, but can I please come to dinner? Again, you're advocating for yourself. That's the theme, I think, of all your advice. But those are and it's not crazy hard things either. It's really simple, small things that make such a big difference. Well, thank you so much. This was amazing. And for those of you that are watching, we are going to be having Mackenzie back. We are going to be doing, instead of movement, we're going to be sewing. She'll show us how to do some sewing. We're very excited to see Alex doing her sewing too. It will be amazing. But if you have any questions for the next time Mackenzie is here, submit them to us and we'll make sure to ask her. And then Mackenzie, if you have anything else that you want to we won't be doing arms again, I promise.
okay. Okay.
Unless you
Fine.
want
I
to.
could do arms.
We can get strong so that we're like able to sew better,
You're literally like in my neck. Maybe I need to work out my neck.
Oh, okay. I'll think of some neck exercises for us.
Maybe not.
I'm like, put the ball bingle around your neck. Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Thanks,
Bye.
Claire. Bye.
Thanks so much.